Hello, dear students and learners. As you know, my name is Masood Alam, and as far as my qualification is concerned, I am Master of Philosophy in English Literature and Master of Education. Students, today our topic is a very important one, and it helps to understand the meanings of the text, how the meanings can be deduced, meanings can be extracted from any text or any written material. This is basically the structuralism, and this is a literary theory, and why I have just um, taken this topic to discuss before you, because this is a very important topic. And this structuralism, this literary theory was introduced by Ferdinand de Saussure in 1950, and within 10 years this structuralism, this theory remained in action. So, if anyone asks you who introduced structuralism, Ferdinand de Saussure basically was the pioneer, was the person who introduced this literary theory. And when he introduced this literary theory, he introduced this literary theory in 1950, and for how long it remained in action? For 10 years. Now I just take you towards the deeper things, further knowledge. But before going towards the further things or further information, I need your attentions, and you are just required to put your attention towards the page and towards the cursors. Wherever the cursor, this is the cursor, and this is the movement of the cursor to and fro. And whenever I will talk, you will just listen what I am going to produce before you, and you will just put your eyes on the page as well, and the movement of the cursor as well. So this is the quotation: nothing can be understood in isolation. And this is basically the main essence of this structuralism, that there is a structure behind anything. If you want to get the meaning of the text, you cannot get the meaning of the text if there is not a structure. Structure mean structure is there which helps to deduce the meaning. The person cannot in isolation cannot give the meaning. There is a structure behind that text which helps to create the meaning. If I am a writer, I am writing about something, and that written material is before you. Just this is the page that I have written, and this is the page that I have written before you. I, being a writer, cannot give you the meaning of these sentences. These sentences have been written in a structure. There is a structure behind. There is a subject, helping verbs, active voice, passive voice, and all the grammatical rules there is behind that are the grammatical rules. And under those, adopting those grammatical rules, I have written those my ideas on the page, or any ideas that any writer has written on the page. So I want to say that writer cannot give the meaning of the text. It is the structure behind that writing, behind that language, that gives the meanings. This is I want to say. The other thing is that everything has a structure. There are many things. If you just in society, there are many structures. If a person says that there is a dog, and how can you get the meaning of the dog, that what is a dog? Because there is a structure behind you. Whenever a person says that I saw a dog, there is the picture of the dog already there in your mind. Even so, if the structure, the concept of the dog is not in your mind, then please tell me, how will you learn that what is a dog? In the same way, if a person says that there is a chair, please bring a chair for me, how can you bring the chair when you do not have the concept of a chair? It means the concept is behind the structure. Structure gives us concept. This is what structuralism is basically all about. And Ferdinand de Saussure wants to inculcate in the minds of the learners and the list of the readers that there is a structure behind anything which gives the meanings. So now I just take you towards the another example, that this is the example. Second, if I tell you that I completed this lecture in 20 minutes or 20 seconds, suppose, so you know what second is all about. What is the importance of second? What is the value of second? If you do not know the value of second, you know that there is the second, just when get accumulate, they give 60 seconds or just about 1 minute, give one or the produces 1 minute, and minutes when accumulate, they become they form into hours, and the hours into days, and days into weeks, and weeks into months. In the same way, months, years, and years, and century, and the century decades. So what is this example is all about? This is basically structure, the time structure. This structure is already there in the society. The system is there. The time system is there. If a person says that I just went to that city in 4 hours, you know how much time has he spent in going there. If you do not know what hour is, then how can you get the meaning that he has spent such and such time? So de Saussure wants to say that there is the structure behind everything. Without isolation, without structure, you cannot deduce the meanings. You cannot get the concept. Now, the language is a system of sign. Now, I just take you towards the language. Language, what is a language? Language is a system of signs. Mean, without signs, you cannot get the meaning. There is not any concept of a language. Now, I just take you towards the sign. In linguistic, there are many things. For example, meanings can be understood through 4 different things. This is what Ferdinand de Saussure wants to say. Number 1 is signifier, and number 2 is the signified. Signifier is basically that I've just given you the 2 examples of a chair and example of a dog. Whenever someone just puts before you the word that I saw a dog, this is the dog is basically a signifier. And the concept, the shape, that after listening the word dog, the shape just creates in your mind of a dog, and that is the concept. Signifier is the dog, and the concept of that dog which developed into your mind after the listening the word dog is basically the signified. This is the concept. The concept is already there in your mind. So signifier is the chair, and signified is the shape of the chair that is in your mind. Now, if a person just tells before you that I saw a dog, and you do not know what is a dog, and you just how will you identify that this is a dog or this is a lion? It means Ferdinand de Saussure wants to just give you the idea that there are the signifiers and the signified, and these 2 things just give you, when combined, give you the meaning. In the same way, when you travel by on a motorway or on the road, there are many signs to suppose there are the hand sign, or if there is a school, there are the children, the boy and the girl just crossing the road. This is the shape of the boy and the girl. You will just, these are the signifiers, and you will come to know that if there is a signboard having a picture of a child and a boy, and you will come to know that there is a school ad. And if there you find that there is the turn sign of a turn, or the sign of a U-turn, and you will say that, you will come to know that, oh, I will have to take a U-turn. It means that sign is basically giving you It's just helping you to create as helping you as a signifier, and the concept that after having the signifier, that concept which develops in your mind is basically the signified. So signified is a concept and signifier is the idea, or the sign. Now, so we can deduce the meanings through signifiers and the signified. And signified is basically the structure. Now, the second thing is meanings are arbitrary. Now, what is arbitrary? This is the thing. Just read the cursor. Now, Ferdinand de Saussure wants to say that meanings are sometimes signifiers sometimes changes, and sometimes the concepts changes. It varies from country to country, from area to area. There are some countries where the language is different, so signifier will be different and the concept signified will also be different. So he wants to say that this is not the exact thing, that the signifier will be the same in throughout the world and signified will also be the same in the throughout the world. So signifier changes and signified also changes. Sometimes it happens that signifier is the same but signified changes. Mean, if a person such says that I saw something, then he just announces a certain noun, and in that language the concept is something else, something different. Whenever we just go to another countries or other cities, and we find that in our cities the things, the names of certain things are different, and the concept are the different. So this varies from country to country and from area to area. Means signifier, sometimes signifier remains the same and signified are the different, and sometimes signified are the different and signifier are the same. Arbitrary means not an exact meaning or not an exact things. So he says that that getting the meaning of the text is basically signifier through signifier and signified and through meaning and arbitrary. Number 3 is meanings can be understood through system of differences. So if I tell you that this is a little thing and this is a long thing, and this is a day and this is a night, and this is beautiful and this is ugly, and he is a fat and he is a thin, how can you get the meaning? So de Saussure says that if you give two different examples, that just put before the idea before the person, that this is the day, and when there is night comes, this is the night, this is black, this is white. So you just put before the learners or before the person that this is black, showing the color of the black, and then showing the color of the white as and these things, and showing the picture of a long tall boy and picture of a short boy, and both boys, short and tall, gives an idea of differences, system of differences, and through this system of differences one can understand what shorter is and what taller person is. He just gets the concept. So he says that we can get the meaning through differences, through system of differences. So I think you have come to know what I want to say, that while understanding the text, signifier and signified give you the meaning, and meanings, these rules vary from area to area, and then through differences we can get the meanings. If there is a beauty, I say that he is very handsome, and then I just put there what is a handsome. That concept will not give clear meaning. If I just put an ugly person, not an handsome person, before that same person, that this is handsome and this is not, this is ugly, and then he will come to know what ugly is and what handsome is. So through this different system of differences one can get the meaning. The other thing is lang is the basic pronoun. Lang is the rules of a language. basic rules of a language is called lang, and parole is basically the rules that are being produced by certain person, are being are spoken by that certain person. Yani, I want to just say that lang is the rules of a language that is involved in a society and in a system and in an area. And when a person just uses that rules to speak, he brings that rules in action while speaking, that becomes a parole. So now I just put your attention towards the other thing is, now I think point number 4 needs a bit explanation, and I think this is just creating into your mind, and what the how can we just get the meaning or from the text, or apply the these two things, lang and parole, while you are deducing the meaning of that certain text. So number one thing is the structure. Lang is the structure or the grammatical rules of that certain language, and the parole, it means how the people are getting the are using that language to get the meanings, to give the meanings. These two things give this structure, and through this fourth point one can deduce also the meanings. Now in literature, what these two things, there are systems that are working in our societies. There are many political systems, religious systems, ethnic systems, educational systems, cultural systems, many other systems that are in the societies. And I want to say that first systems is produced by an idea. First ideas come into the minds, where first ideas comes, and then ideas just develop the certain systems. So I want to just say that if a person, if a boy, if a baby just comes into the world, and he learns the language, he learns certain language. Now what he learns the already set rules, and the language produced by the people, mean parole, mean both things are just he learns both things, lang and parole, mean a person who is using that language, who is using that rules, and the child who is just come into the world listens those rules and the language used by the persons. So he listens, and when that boy or the person becomes a writer in his older age, he will just produce his ideas on the page by adopting a certain structure which he has learned. He cannot give the meaning he cannot say independently that I am giving you the meaning, that this sentence has a certain meaning. No, he cannot say this, because according to Ferdinand de Saussure, there is a system who has developed the person, not the person independently giving the meanings. There is an idea, there is a certain systems who are giving the writer a meaning. The writer, why, how can a writer write on the page when he doesn't know what kind of word that meaning is in that area? So this is what de Saussure wants to say, that ideas and systems are there in the society, and the ideas that a person is going to produce before the page is he cannot say in isolation that this sentence has this meaning, because system decides what this sentence, or the reader decides what this sentence is has that meanings. Okay, now I come towards the other thing is that moreover every system is coming into an action through ideology. This is the thing that I have just discussed before you, and the system is producing writers rather than writers producing systems. Man is only capable of adopting and expressing the ideology. Man is only capable of adopting and expressing the ideology or the system. And the other thing is, writing is in principle the representation of language. If I am a writer and I'm writing on a page, I am just representing the principles of a language that I have learned already. I know what certain word has a certain meaning, and what I want to say, because I want to say, and I just going to produce it on the page. So I know the system. The system is already there in my mind. This is what de Saussure wants to say, that source of meaning is lying in the structure, not in the lines. Now, when a person is born in a society, there is an existence of certain ideology or a system, certain system, and now that man learns that ideology. Dear students, I hope you would have come to know what structuralism is all about. And after 1960, some other theories also came into existence, and I will discuss those theories side by side, one by one before you, so that by comparison and contrast you will come to know what structuralism was about, or what formalism was all about, or new historicism or post structuralism. So thank you very much. And if you like this video, please share it and like it as well.